Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद भागवतम महापुराण की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरे कृष्ण। Okay, Hare Krishna. Welcome this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are doing Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, Chapter 16. Joy and Vijay cursed by the sages. Text 33. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tau tu girvan rishabho. Tau tu girvan rishabho. Dustaradhari lokataha. Hata shriyo brahma shapa. Adbhutam vigatasmayo. Tau tu girvana rishabho. Tau tu girvana rishabho. Dustaradhari lokataha. Hata shriyo brahma shapa. Adbhutam vigatasmayo. Tau tu girvana rishabho. Dustaradhari lokataha. Hata shriyo brahma shapad. Adbhutam vigatasmayo. Prabhuji. Tau girvana rishabho. Dustaradhari lokataha. Hata shriyo brahma shapad. Hata shriyo brahma shapad. Adbhutam vigatasmayo. Okay, word for word translation. Tau. Those two doorkeepers, gatekeepers, two, but Girvana Rishabho, the best of the demigods, Dustarat, unable to be avoided, Harilokataha, from Vaikuntha, the abode of the Lord Hari, Hatashriyo, diminished in beauty and luster. Brahma Shapat, from the curse of the Brahmana. Abhutam, became. Vigatashmayo, morose. Okay, translation. But those two gatekeepers, the best of the demigods, their beauty and luster diminished by the curse of the Brahmanas, became morose and fell from Vaikuntha, the abode of the Supreme Lord. So there is no purport. So we'll try to discuss this translation. If still there is some time, we'll go to next text. So okay, let's do Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Bande Ham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Nitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakha Nitamsa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Mahabadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaur Tushe Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, Hare Krishna, welcome back again. So just before starting my class, again, as you all are my superior Vaishnavas, superior than me, certainly. So my mood is not to teach you. Rather, my mood is to speak some few words which I have been learning from superior Vaishnavas, so that I could please your mind. So that's my mood. So with that mood, I would like to read translation again. But those two gatekeepers, the best of the demigods, their beauty and luster diminished by the curse of the Brahmanas, became morose and fell from the Vaikuntha, the abode of the Supreme Lord. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mamai Vamso Jiva Bhuta Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. That means all the living entities in this material world, actually whether they may be in the material world or they may be in the spiritual world, they are the Mamai Vamso. They are the part and parcel of the Krishna. They are the part and parcel of the Krishna. And Krishna is considered as the fire, big fire. And the living entities, they are considered as the small sparks of the fire. Just like in the material world, we see like if there is some big fire, sometimes from that fire some sparks come out. Sometimes that sparks fall off that big fire. And as soon as that small sparks gets away from that big fire, the astito, what do you say in English? Astito? The astito, the existence of the small sparks become diminished. That goes off. That just completely goes off. There is no more spark. Same way, all the living entities, as they are eternally part and parcel of the Krishna, Krishna is the Supreme Lord, Krishna is the spiritual. Same way, jivas, living entities, they are also spiritual. But when they get away from Krishna, when they think about enjoying independently away from Krishna and they turn their face away from Krishna, they are spiritual spark. But they no more act as a spiritual spark. That means they lost their spirituality. They start to think the material body which they get, that is just jad, material, dead matter, they start to think dead matter to be their self. And that way, they start to exploit the material nature to enjoy their senses. As they are thinking the body is the self. The satisfaction of the senses is the satisfaction of the self. They think that way, being deluded by illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. And they start to exploit the material nature to satisfy their senses, to be enjoyed. But they don't get real enjoyment. They just become frustrated. And they just lose their existence. They become morose. Just like in this translation we can read. The beauty and the luster diminished by the course of the Brahmanas became morose and fell from the Vaikuntha. Originally, as we all are eternally part and parcel of the Krishna, we all are also very, very beautiful. We all are also very, very effulgent. We all are also very, very effulgent, knowledgeable. We are also Satchidananda. But the time when we get away from Krishna, the time when we turn our face away from Krishna, we are no more effulgent. We are no more Satchidananda. We are this Jad Sarir, Jad body, dead body of the dead matter. And that's when we become morose. That's when all the fear, all the anxiety starts to come in our life. And that's when we become morose. And when living entity comes into this material world, they goes to great deal of trouble. They come to this material world thinking they will enjoy more. Their mood is that, their motive is that, but they don't get the enjoyment. They simply get only frustrations, only anxiety, only fear, nothing more. They only get that. If we see, like, I was just, yesterday only I was hearing, when living entity leaves this material body, he gets the pain as if bitten by the 60,000 scorpions at one time. Can we imagine, like, when we are pricked by the small pin also, when that pricks us, that gives us pain, right? So how big pain that might be when 60,000 scorpions at the same time beat us, at the same time bite us. How big that pain might be, right? So same kind of pain all the living entities goes through when they change their material body, when they leave their material body. That's not only the end. If they had done the right thing, if they had done the pious activities in their life, maybe they will get birth in right family. Maybe they will go to the heavenly planets, upper planets. If they hadn't done the right thing, if they hadn't chanted the holy name of the Lord, if they hadn't done the pious activities, if they had only become the envious of the other living entities, they will definitely go to hell. And when they are taken to the hell, I was reading in the Srimad Bhagavatam sometimes back, living entity goes through really bad condition. Like there is the burning sand, and on the two sides there is like big fire, forest fire. And the sunlight is also so scorching. The sunlight we feel, there is like nothing in front of that sunlight, experienced by the jiva when they are taken to the hellish planet. So that kind of way, the jiva is taken to the hell. And according to their papa, according to their sinful life, sinful activities, they are given the punishment. Some are sent to the, there is like, I was hearing from my Gurudev also, there is a big river. The river is not just like the river of the water. The river is only made up of the stool, urine, blood, all the abominable things only. That kind of abominable things make one river in the hellish planet. And if they have done the bad things, if living entity has done the sinful life, sinful activity only, they are sent to that kind of river. They are allowed to live there. They are sent to live there for many, many years. Many, many years. Similarly, politicians, just like politicians, what do? Normally, they say to the citizens, okay, we'll do that for you. We'll bring such nice things for you. We'll give more facilities to you. They say that and they get the vote. And when they get the vote, they don't do the things. They forget their promise. That way they are like sucking the blood of the citizens, sucking all the labors of the citizens, sucking all the hard-earned money of the citizens. All the big politicians, they do that. I was hearing what was the result of them. If they do that, if someone lives that kind of life after death, there is particular name of the punishment they are given. Krimi bhojanam. In the hellish planet, they are tied in the rope, and all the small insects, all the small germs, all the small worms are allowed to suck the blood of their body in the hellish planet. That kind of pain they go through. If someone has cheated others, if someone has been eating meat only in their life, they are fried in the hellish planet. Just like there is big oven, there is an oil, boiling oil, and they are sent there. That kind of pain living entities goes through. Some living entities, they are like so many snakes comes and bites them. That kind of punishment. Some living entities, they are sent to the cave, and from outside, bull or animals like that are sent. And when the animals come to see that living entity, all the animals attack that living entity. That way gives so much torture, so much pain to living entities. So that kind of all the pains, that kind of all the tortures living entities goes through. If they had done the impious activities, if they had lived the sinful life. And that's the case when they have done sinful activities. Let's say for example, the living entities have not done any sinful activities. He's going to take birth in another womb. What happens in the case of the taking birth? The living entity is kept in a compact tube in the mother's womb. Mother's womb is not very comfortable place. That is not very comfortable place. That is most compact tube. Living entity is sent there, kept there for 9 months. They are kept there. And like just near is the urine bag. Just near is the stool bag. And all the small germs sometimes comes and bites that living entities. That kind of pain living entities goes through when they're taking birth. And at the time of delivery, there is still danger to be dying. They can die. It is not sure that at the time of delivery, that delivery will be successful. No, they can die. Like this, living entities goes through so many pains in the material world. For example, the delivery also becomes successful. They successfully came. And what happens in the material world? I was reading in the Srimad Bhagavatam. When they are in the womb, in that painful situation, the jiva, the living entity, they praise to Supreme Lord. My dear Lord, I have forgotten you so many lifetimes. That's why I'm in such a painful situation. My dear Lord, as soon as I come from here, I will worship you. I will become your devotee. I will chant your names. I will come to your temple. I will offer you prayer, like that Jiva say. But as soon as Jiva takes birth in the material world, the so-called father and mother, they teach so many things. They teach so many things which is not needed to the Jiva actually. Jiva being the spiritual spark, what do they need? They need the spiritual spark to be happy. They need the supreme spiritual spark, that is Krishna, to be happy. But when they take birth, mother, father, society, so-called friends, they give everything to the Jiva except the Supreme Soul, except the supreme spiritual spark. The point I am trying to make here is the Jivas, when they get away from the Krishna, their mood is to enjoy away from Krishna, but they goes to great deal of trouble. Again, not only that, all the Jivas, from the Brahma up to the ant, all the Jivas, they all goes through the 3 tap, 3 kleshas. The material world is also called as Devi Dham. Devi Dham. And Devi, Durga, she has got the trident, and that has got 3 pokes. And 3 pokes resemble the 3 kleshas: Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik. Adi, Adi, Adhyatmik. Adhyatmik means it starts from one mind and oneself. The pains, the kleshas, living entities experienced by own mind. Sometimes like so many things happen in our life, we become so depressed, right? So many bad thoughts come in us. That is the Adhyatmik klesha. That kind of kleshas living entity goes through. Adi Bhautik, other jivas, other living entities gives them trouble. Sometimes some people cheat us. Sometimes some people bully us. Right? Sometimes some people like cheat us. They say like, okay, I will do this for you. Give me this much money. And we give. But they don't do the work. They take the money, they run away. This kind of cheating, this kind of trouble living entity goes through. This is called Adi Bhautik from other living entities. Same way, Adi Daivik klesha. That is the klesha they are getting from the nature. Klesha they are getting from the Devi Devatas. Just like we see sometimes big tsunami coming. Sometimes big earthquake coming in the Nepal. I think 2015 or 16. There was big earthquake. That happens, big loss. So many people died. Same way, sometimes volcano comes. Nowadays, Corona is there. We shouldn't go so far. Corona is there. Sometimes big rain happens. Sometimes last time only big rain happens, and so many parts of the Australia, western side of the Australia was flooded. So that is the example of the Adidaivik klesha. So this kind of klesha, this kind of trouble, living entity goes through when they come to the material world. Not only one lifetime. Shastra says we have taken millions upon millions of lifetimes. We have changed our body for millions upon millions of times. Anadi. It is said that nobody can trace out when the living entities fall from the Vaikuntha. Nobody can trace out. Anadi. That is, we have been experiencing that kind of klesha, all the Adhyatmik, Adidabhik, Adibhautik, all the kleshas of the hellish planets, everything, all the kleshas, all the troubles, all the miseries we have been experiencing from millions upon millions of lifetimes, millions upon millions of years. No one knows. And when living entity, the spiritual spark, when they are in Krishna, they are happy. They are with Krishna, they are happy. But when they come to material world, they go through this kind of trouble. They go through this kind of pain. They go through this kind of kleshas. And why don't they become morose? Why don't they lose their luster then? That's the reason they lose their luster. That's the reason they become depressed. That's the reason they become in anxiety. They become fearful. That's the reason. Actually, yeah, as I already mentioned, they are coming into this material world thinking that, yeah, we will enjoy. But no, it is not easy. Actually, to say, these kleshas we get, this is also mercy of Krishna. This is also mercy of Krishna. Krishna is so merciful. The jivas have become envious of him. Jivas have become rebellious of him. But Krishna, he hasn't forgot the jivas. That's why he keeps on giving all the kleshas. That's why he keeps on giving only trouble. So that one day, they will turn their face towards me. One day, they will inquire about me. One day, they will think, oh, I think this place is not for me. That's the reason Krishna is giving that kind of trouble. And that's the Krishna's mercy. But Jiva is like, Jiva is in so dark ignorance, so deep dark ignorance. They are going through that kind of all pains, all the miseries, as I already mentioned, hellish planets, Adidabhik, Adibhautik, Adhyatmik, the death time pain, the birth time pain. They go through that kind of troubles for many, many years, many, many lifetimes. But still they think they are happy. Still they think they are happy. We have to ask people, how are you? I'm wonderful. They think they are wonderful. But they don't remember all the kleshas they have gone through in the past. They don't see all the kleshas they are going through in the future. They don't see that. And they don't remember all the kleshas and all the troubles they have gone through in the past. It doesn't mean that didn't exist. If someone didn't remember, for example, there are so many incidents happening in our child life, but we don't remember everything. We don't remember each and every day what did I do this particular day, what I was doing, what happened particular that day. We don't remember. But it doesn't mean that didn't exist. That happened, that existed. Simply we have forgotten. Same way, so many things will happen in our future also. We can see that. It doesn't mean that will not come. That will come. That will come. But Maya is covering, Maya is making us forget all the pains. Why Maya is covering us? Why Maya is not allowing us to remember that all things? Because we still have attitude, we still have that hope. For now only I am suffering. Yeah, there is still hope that I can enjoy. Yeah, there is one hope. We have that hope. We have that attitude. Still we have got. That's why Maya just keeps on covering us, keeps on covering us, keeps on giving us trouble. Keeps on giving us trouble. So we have to read through the Srimad Bhagavatam pages. We have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from right sources. And we have to analyze. And we really have to wake up. We really have to wake up. Otherwise, so many lifetimes we will keep on changing. So many bodies will keep on changing. Especially this human form of life we have got. Human form of life is called Labdhva sudur labham idam bahusam bhavante manusyam arthadam anityam api hadhira turnam yate tanapate danumrityu yavan nisreyasaya visaya khalu sarvata syat. This verse says, human form of life. Labdha sudurlabham idam bahu sambhavante. We have got this human form of life. Bahu sambhavante. After many, many births, after many, many years, we have got this human form of life. Sudurlabham. This is very rare to achieve. There are 8,400,000 species of life. 8,400,000 species of life. In that 8,400,000 species of life, one time, when it goes through the cycle of evolution, one time we get the human form of life. That's why it is very, very durlabh. Sudurlabham idam bahusham bhavante. We have got this after many, many lifetimes. Manushyam arthadam anityam apiha dhira. Manushyam arthadam. This human form of life is arthadam. This can give us the real benediction. This can make us achieve the real goal of life. Real perfection of our life. That means Krishna consciousness. Krishna Prem. This human form of life, only this human form of life. No cat's life, no dog's life, no demigod's life, no animal's life. No, they don't have intelligence. Animals, they don't have intelligence to understand. The demigods, they have so many things to bewilder them, so many material enjoyment varieties that makes them bewilder, that makes them not understand the value. That's why demigods also, they are also eager to take birth as a human form of life. This is very important. Arthadam, this can give the real benediction. This can give us the real perfection. But what kind of life is this? Anityam. This is temporary. This is not nitya. This is temporary. Satyayug people used to live for 100,000 years. Treta Yug, 10,000 years. Dwapar Yug, 1,000 years. Kali Yug, 100 years it is said. But nowadays, max people may live for 100 years, but like 70, 75, 80, 85, at that time people leave the body. So we have to be very, very eager. We have to be very, very anxious to get the real perfection. We have to be anxious to be real Krishna conscious, to surrender at the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Gopinath. Turnam yate tanapate dhira, turnam yate tanapate danumrityu yavan. Dhira means who has got the intelligence, who has got the fixed up intelligence, fixed up mind. Immediately what they have to do? They have to try to find that achievement. Nisreya saya. Nisreya saya. They have to do endeavor. Immediately they have to try to achieve that perfection. Why? Nisreya saya visaya khalu sarvata syat. The visaya, the material happiness, is everywhere available. The material happiness is available, not only in the human form of life, in the dog's life, in the ant's life, in the bird's life. If we go, there is a small insect that we cannot see. They also have got that kind of enjoyment. Vishay Sukh. They also have got that enjoyment. And we, Krishna has given us the real intelligence. Krishna has given us the highest intelligence. Having achieved the highest intelligence, if we also live our life only for the Vishay Sukh, then again we have to again take birth. We have to again go to the cycle of birth and death. Again millions upon millions of lifetimes, kleshas, troubles. That's why this human form of life is very important. We have to be very, very eager to hear Harikatha. We have to be very, very hear Harikatha, chant holy name. We have to be very, very eager to serve the sadhus. We have to be very, very eager to come to the Shishira, to see Sri Sri Radha Gopinath in the temple. We have to be very, very eager to dance and chant. Last time the Prabhu was giving class, he was saying, we are in the emergency condition. Yes, actually we are in the emergency condition. We are in the emergency. Anytime we can die. We have to ask to ourselves, anytime. Prabhupada used to say, Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days. He got the course, you will die in the 7th day. He had at least 7 days. But you, me, and all of us, we don't know. We can die anytime. Next moment we can die. We don't have even 7 days. That's why we are in emergency condition. We don't know when we will die. But we have not achieved the real perfection. We have not achieved the lotus feet of Shri Sri Radha Gopinath. So we have to remind ourselves like this. And we have to be eager to achieve the perfection. We have to be eager to chant holy name. We have to be eager to dance in front of deity. Like that. So, and Mahaprabhu also taught us in Shikshastakam 5. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam visame bhavam budho kripaya tava pada pankaja sthita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya. Mahaprabhu taught us, O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death. My dear Lord, please pick me up and place me as the one of the atoms at your lotus feet. We sing every morning, but what happens is sometimes like we sing, it becomes mechanical sometimes. When we come to Sri Sri Radha Gopinath, we have to mean it. We have to mean it. And then only they can like, if we mean it, if we are saying from heart, my dear Lord, please kindly pick me up from this ocean of birth and death. Place me as the one of the atoms at your lotus feet, my dear Lord. Please, if we say from the heart, they will definitely help us. It is not that they are not merciful, Lord. They are very, very merciful, Lord. They are very, very eager to bring us to them, bring us to their lotus feet. Very, very merciful. So, the point we are discussing is living entity goes through so many kleshas, and living entity lost their luster, beauty, everything they lost. And they become morose, they become fearful. So that's the point. They become fearful. So we have to be eager to increase our surrenderance at the lotus feet of Shri Sri Radha Gopinath. That should be our mood. As I already mentioned, that should be our mood. My dear Lord, I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up. Please pick me up. That should be our mood. Like, yes, Maya really covers us. When we listen this kind of lectures, when we go through Bhagavatam pages, when we hear Harikatha, I think, yeah, that's true. Yes, I think that's true. We think like that, but Maya makes us forget. So we have to keep reminding ourselves like this. We have to keep reminding ourselves like this. Our focus should be intense, so that Maya cannot drag us. Maya is dragging us. Maya is giving us trouble. Why? Because we have not that intense focus. If we have intense focus, we have intensely praying to Radha Gopinath, intensely chanting, we have intensely practicing Sri Krishna consciousness, Maya cannot touch us. Maya cannot touch us. So that should be our mood. So we should be very, very eager. So we should be very, very enthusiastic. Ghanshyam Prabhu was saying in the lecture one time in the Brahmachari class, sometimes we become lazy. We becoming lazy. We are not being serious. That means we are welcoming Maya. So we shouldn't be serious, especially Krishna conscious devotees. We should be eager. We should be eager to serve. We should be very, very, Prabhupada also used to say, karmis are very, very eager. Why? For Vishay Sukh, for material happiness, they are very, very eager. They are running like anything. They are working day and night like anything, very hard for the Vishay Sukh. But to please Supreme Lord, to achieve the ultimate perfection, we have to be more eager, we have to be more enthusiastic than them. Like that Prabhupada used to say. So with that, I would like to stop here. So what we discussed, just quickly recapping what we discussed like how living entities falls from the, gets departed from the Supreme Lord, and after coming to this material world, they goes to great deal of trouble. We discussed that, and we discussed we should be very, very eager to achieve. We have achieved the human form of life. We should be very, very eager to achieve the real perfection. And we should be very, very eager to serve all the Vaishnavas, hear Harikatha, chant holy name, dance, discuss that. So if there is any correction, any question, please welcome. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Yes. What I will say is, when living entity takes birth, he doesn't have intelligence. He doesn't have right intelligence, what is right, what is wrong. Whatever their parents give them, they will accept that as a truth, right? So that's the reason, like, if parents is Krishna conscious, they can give us give the kids the right culture, right knowledge, right intelligence from the beginning. But the parents is not Krishna consciousness, what can they give? They can give the intelligence what they have. They can give the culture what they have. And same kind of culture they will get. But like if someone has done the devotional service in the past life, I was reading in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna give them intelligence. Krishna make them remember the past lives. Krishna makes them take birth in the Vaishnava family, like that. I think I answer your question, right? While taking birth, we are not in the right intelligence. We cannot separate what is good, what is bad. Whatever our senior give us, we just take that to be true. So that's the reason. If they are like Krishna conscious, they can give us the right intelligence, right knowledge, right sanskar, everything. So that's the reason, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji? Okay. Okay, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की जय, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। जय जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय।